Oh, hello there. So, I figured that, when I saw this movie that it was going to be coming out for a special re-release, I figured, might as well take the plunge and go see it. You might say that I just went and did it. Oh, no, wait, that doesn't sound right. Uh, I just do it, as they say. Anyway, cringy intro aside, hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and yeah, I wanted to go see this on the big screen because I've not actually seen it on the big screen. I'm talking about Star Wars Episode 3, or people from my parents' age, Episode 6, or the sixth Star Wars film, I should say. Revenge of the Sith, which came out 20 years ago in 2005. This one, of course, stars Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Frank Oz, Anthony Daniels, Peter Mayhew, Christopherlee, Ian McDiarmid, Samuel L. Jackson, Tamara Morrison, all of them. As Chancellor Palpatine gets closer and closer to realizing his secret goals of taking over the Senate and ridding the Jedi, Anakin discovers that he is going to be a father, and he will do whatever it takes to not only keep his kids, but also his wife safe, which ends up being costly to his friendships. That's kind of a spoilery plot synopsis, but the movie has been out for over 20 years, so I'm sorry that you're getting spoiled by this now. But I wanted to start this review off by telling a funny story about how I actually saw this film for the first time. So it was right when episode 7 was going to come out, Force Awakens, and me and a group of my friends, we had gotten together and did a sleepover. And basically, we binged all of the Star Wars movies that had come out, 1 through 6. And yes, we did watch them in episode order instead of release order. So we watched them 1 through 6 instead of 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. But we watched them so that we could have a primer, and then we were all ready for when episode 7 came out. And basically, the start of Disney's trilogy, the sequel trilogy, is what got me into Star Wars. It got me to watch shows like Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and I'm so pumped for Darth Maul's series that came out. I'm excited for Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm excited for that movie. I believe Ahsoka season 2 was confirmed at Celebrations, and I'm excited for all the stuff that Star Wars is intending on releasing in the coming years. And it all started from the sequel trilogy, but we had the basis of not only the original trilogy, but the prequel trilogy. And to me, this one is the best out of the prequel trilogy, and my rankings for that are 3 at the top, 1, and then 2. I think those are my rankings in terms of the prequel films. But watching it with the benefit of hindsight and it being 20 years later, a couple of things stick out to me. One, while the CG in this is really good for like 2005, I will say you can tell that a lot of it was CG. And the only reason I say that is because when they're on the, I believe is a Hammerhead class ship, you can tell that that's a practical set. You can tell that the inside of that Hammerhead ship, whenever they cut to the inside of it, that's a practical set. And everything else is CG, which I found absolutely hysterical. Another thing, like this, many people say, like, yeah, there are still a lot of, like, corny lines in the movie, but I still think, like, we all still quote the lines to this very day. Like, I did 2 of them in my intro. Hello there, do it. I didn't even get into unlimited power, like all that stuff. That's great. And all the dialogue is classic. Now, whether that is, for good or for bad, that's up to your opinion. But this movie is classically written, or not necessarily like classically written, like, oh, what an amazing script, like you remember the lines. And that's really all down to George Lucas. Like, he wrote and directed this movie, and I will say, I loved all of the stuff that he did to not only set up this world and create this trilogy of films, but I'm also glad that we have guys now like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Rick Famuyiwa, Bryce Dallas Howard, all of them, to kind of breathe like new life into Star Wars. Like, he definitely laid a foundation, but I'm also glad that we have new hands, new capable hands to take this world into bigger and better places. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was the edits in this. There are so many, like, what I class as like movie maker edits, where you can open up like Movie Maker on your computer and be like, oh, the shutter transition, like, or the multiple wipe transition, or the clock transition. I love that aspect of the movie. I love that. Seeing all those like old school transitions had me smile on the inside. And number 4, the sword fighting in this, the saber fights, are absolutely awesome. You don't need to, I don't need to explain why. Like, the Obi-Wan Vader / Anakin fight on Mustafar, absolutely awesome. And I love that every single time that they have met, it like decreases in like action, but it increases in emotion. Like, the first one in this, it's pure rage. When they fight again in Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's skill, but also like, Obi-Wan's pouring his feelings out to Anakin. And then when they meet again in A New Hope, which would be the first time we see them fight, it's, they're old and they're slower and they're more fine-tuned with their strikes. So I kind of like that from, not only from like a story perspective, but also like an age acting perspective. Even though it's completely accidental, I still appreciate that. Although I will say the Yoda and Palpatine fight in the Senate, that's also really, really good. The beginning sword fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin with Count Dooku, that's also really good. I love all the saber designs. I love Maul's is second in my opinion, but my favorite is Dooku's, because his handle on his saber, it's curved. I've always loved that aspect of Dooku's saber, that it's curved ever so slightly towards the end. I just love that. It makes it look like a fancy sword, which is what a lightsaber is. It's just a fancy sword. But I just love the fact that it's like curved and makes it look elegant because, the magnificent Christopher Lee, he was always elegant in the roles that he portrayed. I don't really need to talk about the score because you all know that the score is absolutely amazing. Of course, John Williams, beautiful score. The acting was like, again, not like the best in the world. Like, we still quote these lines again for better or for worse. So you can take the acting for better or for worse in this. But yeah, I still had an amazing fun time. It could be nostalgia talking, but I had an absolute ball watching this again for the first time in 10 years. So I would say it is definitely a fun time. If you guys have the chance to see it in theaters, I highly suggest that you do. It's an absolute fun time, and I can't believe it's 20 years old. It's absolutely insane. That's it for movie reviews today. Stick around a little bit because I'm going to head home and record my reactions to the Dead Meat Horror Awards. And tomorrow, you guys are going to get another movie review. But until then, guys, be safe, watch out for the lava, and I will see you next time.